Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great week. Nathan Moldenhauer here with you, one of the pastors at Shepherd of the Hills Lutheran Church in Northwest Tucson. Maybe you can see I'm wearing my baseball glove. I have baseball along. Baseball was probably my favorite sport to play as I was growing up. Actually had the same group of guys for 6, maybe 9 years in a row that we played Little League summer ball with. Maybe baseball's been on your mind this week, as the Arizona Diamondbacks clinched a spot in the World Series on Tuesday night and tomorrow, Friday. First game for the World Series. Maybe you know they weren't expected to get there. They were a wild card team. They only won 84 games. They beat some pretty good ball clubs to get there, but they made it. Kind of exciting for us in Arizona to watch the hometown team play in the World Series for the first time in 22 years. I was going to wear an Arizona Diamondbacks shirt, but I realized I didn't have one. I'm going to have to jump onto the bandwagon, if you'll have me. But it's fun to watch Diamondback baseball this time of year. There was an interview after the game, after Game 7 of the league championship to make it in. The Diamondbacks win. They were interviewing a player, and they said, you weren't expected to get it. What happened? And he said, well, the training paid off. We got good at the right time. Right? We put in the work, and now we're seeing the dividends. We're seeing the results of that work. He kept referencing their training, kept referencing their practice. The Apostle Paul writes to young Pastor Timothy in 1 Timothy chapter 4. He says, physical training is of some value, but godliness has value for all things. And then he said something else. Godliness has value for all things, holding promise not only for the present life, but the life to come. There are a lot of great things to gain from sports and from physical activity and exercise. I love it for kids. I think it teaches teamwork and leadership, teaches skills to stay healthy and stay in shape your whole life. Good for the Arizona Diamondbacks, practicing and training and making it to the World Series. But that training is just for this life. There is a training that gives encouragement and joy and confidence, not only for now, but also for eternal life. Godliness, what does Paul mean by that? By taking in the things of God. By taking in the things that God says is good and right, following His ways. Yes, doing what He says, follow the commandments, but also listening to His promises. Hearing His promises, trusting His promises, that's godliness. The promise of forgiveness, the promise of providence that Jesus will always be with you, the promise of life and salvation, the promise of the resurrection from the dead. All of these things are what Paul is talking about when he talks about godliness. And godliness, Paul says, has value for all things, every part of your life. Where is your focus? It's on the things that God gives. It's on the things that God promises. And where does that lead to? It leads to eternal life in heaven. I hope you watch some baseball if that's the sort of thing that you're into. If you just learned that the Diamondbacks are in the World Series right now, that's okay too. But if you watch the game tomorrow night, as you see them warming up, as you see them pitching and catching and hitting, maybe you'll think about all the training that went into that. All the practice that went into that, and that is of some value. But then remind yourself again with the words of the Apostle Paul, godliness has value for all things, holding promise not only for this life, but for the life to come. Go Diamondbacks, and have a great rest of your week. Till next time, God bless you.